There's been a few changes since last year. One of the main changes is that the latter half of last year I've had to reduce my work hours. So I've got to revise my budget. My husband works self-employed, so work can be a bit sporadic, and there's still quite a few things we need to do to the house that we have to save up for. So I've decided to make 2024 my no spend or very low spend year. I'm actually really looking forward to it. I think it might be quite fun in a way, sort of finding out exactly what I can do without, and also discovering what I've actually got in the house, because I've already found a few things I'd forgotten I've got, so I don't need to buy those. So that's quite exciting. I have some inspiration behind me of my parents. My parents were teenagers during the Second World War, and though they're sadly no longer with me, I do remember a lot of their stories, and also how they brought me up. They brought me up very frugally, and I can remember all their little tips and tricks, so I'm going to be trying some more of those this year. I live pretty frugally anyway, and I sort of incorporate a lot of their ideas in my everyday life, but there's always room for improvement, so I'm hoping this year to be the most frugal I've ever been. Now, everyone seems to have rules for their no spend year. All the videos I've been watching, other people having no spend years, they seem to have this set of rules. I'm not quite sure what my rules are, other than I'm going to try and spend as little as possible. I'm not going to buy certain things. I've decided I'm going to make do with what I've got. Things like clothes. I decided that I've got enough clothes. Some of them I've hardly worn because I don't go out that much. I'm not a great socialite. So I've had some things for years that I've only worn a couple of times. So I thought, right, I'm not buying so many clothes. I did want to buy a top to go with the pair of trousers that I had. So I had one really nice outfit for if I do go out, or if there's an event or something I need to go to. And I had an absolute bargain with that, as I happened to go to the supermarket and they had some clothes there and they had a sale rail, and I just wanted a white summery top to go with these summery trousers, and they had one there reduced to £1. £1. And I was really proud of myself because I had loads of other things reduced to £1 on that rail, and I wouldn't even look. I thought, no, in my head I'd said to myself, you just need a top to go with those trousers. That's it. You don't need anything else. You can make do, unless some disaster happens and something happens to all your shoes or something. You only need that top, and that's just what I bought. So I didn't even look at the other things, and I'm hoping that everything I've got now will last me the whole year. Obviously, if I have some sort of disaster, like we've had a lot of flooding and stuff lately in the area, and if I do sort of go out for a walk and one of my shoes gets stuck in the mud and floats down the river and I haven't got anything, I mean, let's be sensible. I can't sort of go around bare feet. I mean, a lot of people do, but I certainly can't where I work. So, let's be sensible about this. But for the main part, I'm not buying clothes. I've got plenty of makeup. I've got plenty of accessories, anything like that I really don't need. I've got plenty of books. I got given loads of books for Christmas. And my daughter and I sort of started a bit of a reading club going, and we're swapping books. And so we're sort of lending books from each other. And I've got a local library. So things like books I don't need. I'm also going to go shopping only once a month for my groceries. We thought we'd try that out, see how that goes. I only do local driving. I won't drive off anywhere anymore. And so if I need to go off grocery shopping, because we live in the middle of nowhere, so you have to go in the car, my husband has to drive, and it does take a lot of his time depending what he's doing and everything, because usually what it's like when you're self-employed, you work all strange hours, and also it's an hour round trip to get to a supermarket. It's not even a big supermarket, it's just a smaller one. And we decided rather than do that every week, because also when you go every week you always seem to overspend every week. Well, I do. I think, I'll get bit of that, just in case, and then you always end up doing more than you need for a week. And anyway, I decided we're going to try going monthly and going off slightly further away to a bigger supermarket, do a nice big shop, get everything. I did that just after Christmas. It's going really well, but I did have quite a few things left from Christmas, so I'm not sure how the shopping is going at the moment. It'll take a few months to see if it's actually working and if it saves me money doing that. But I haven't been near a shop for 2 weeks now. So that's pretty good. I will need to go shortly though for things like fresh produce, stuff like that, because obviously you can't really buy a month's worth of fresh produce. It does tend to go a bit green, a bit mouldy after a few weeks. So things like that. I'm basically having a look around, seeing what I've got in the house that I can use, and thinking about, do I actually need something? I've been bought some, for example, I've been bought some lovely, my favourite soap, which is pear soap, for Christmas by one of my children, and I really wanted a little soap dish to put it in, or to put it on the side of the bath. And I looked around, and in the end I've just used an old saucer, an old pretty saucer I had, and I thought, oh, that looked really lovely, don't need to go out and buy a soap dish. You can make things do. I thought I won't be using this saucer anytime soon, and I've got plenty of others. It's part of a really big set that I've got, and that's sort of been sat there, your best china tea set. And I just thought, do you know what, it's been sat there for a long time. I had it sort of second hand, really love my pretty cups and saucers, but they never see the light of day. And I thought, well, at least if I use one of these saucers, my soap dish, I'm going to see it every day. And so I thought that would be nice. So little things like that, I'm just going to see what I can do. But basically this year I'm going to be cutting down my spending as little as possible. And the other thing I'm going to be doing for 2024 is I really want to embrace where I live. I live in the most gorgeous place on earth. I live in the middle of the Welsh mountains, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I really want to embrace that, and I love being outdoors. I'm a real outdoor girl, and I want to embrace the seasons. A lot of people don't like winter and stuff. I love it. I love it. I don't know how to drive in it because I don't like driving, and it can get very hairy down our back lanes because it gets very icy and we don't get any gritters or anything up here. So that's the only thing. But apart from that, I do love the winter up here. It's so beautiful with all the ice on the trees and all the birds flying around, and I really want to embrace that this year, and I'm going to document it a little bit and do sort of like a nature diary. Just why not, because it's so beautiful up here, and I just love it. So that's my plans for this year. So stay tuned. Like, subscribe, thumbs up, hit bells, all that stuff. If you want some tips and inspiration for frugal living, many of which is coming from the home front from my parents. So I'll be doing some old-fashioned frugal tips, and also a lovely nature diary of my life here in the mountains, where we have some amazing wildlife. And until next time, stay extra frugal.